Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you step by step, real time, how to paint this beautiful little landscape. It's inspired by a reference photo that I saw, and I'm going to play up on it and do my own thing and add my own twist to this. So I hope you guys enjoy. We're working on a 16 by 20 primed canvas. It's an older painting again. I've been doing this a lot lately. I can't get out. We're in isolation and social distancing right now, so I'm not going to the art store. I'm just recycling some old canvases. And I also really enjoy the way colors look against a black canvas. It's quite exciting and the process is a lot of fun. I'm working with my sparkly Galaxy resin palette. I've got a tutorial how to make one of these, so I'll have a link below for you guys. Here's the colors we're going to be using today: titanium white, and any of these colors that you may have another variation of will work just fine. You don't need these colors specifically, but I will have them listed below for you in case you want to use these exact colors. So we've got titanium white, lemon yellow, sap green, neon pink, neon purple violet, cobalt blue, turquoise, yellow ochre, burnt umber, and we're going to go ahead and get started. I may add a few other colors to my palette during the painting process. If I do, I'll add all of those down below as well. So to begin, we're going to use mop brush. I'm going to tap into lemon yellow first, pick up just a little bit of that sap green, a little bit of turquoise, and a tiny bit of white. When working on a black canvas, the colors won't show up as well as the paint sets in and dries, so you'll need to add a little bit more paint than you normally would, or a little bit more white. We'll just start softly tapping in. We don't want this to be solid. We want it to look like foliage and be able to see through some parts. Get right to the top up there. And to make some of the area look blurry, some things in a picture will look more in focus, and to do that we can make other parts blurry and out of focus. So just scumble out your dry brush after most of the paint is worked out of it. And then as I get down in here, I'm going to use more of the sap green. Then I'm going to pick up a little bit of white, lemon yellow, turquoise, and a little bit more sap green. I'm going to tap, kind of flick up, and then you get all these miniature little leaves all at once. And then a bunch of little tiny ones all in one spot like this. See how I'm turning and twisting my brush around. More sap green. Push and flick. So we've got some darker ones in here. So you can do a lot with the mop brush. It's already dirty, so I may as well keep using it if I can, rather than go to another brush. It's not necessary. Add some more green in this area. I'm going to pick up some of my cobalt blue. Start kind of creating dark shadow color in here. take a little bit of white with my Cobalt and just start pulling along the bottom here. It's mixed with the green a little bit. Take my large number 11 flat brush, get these same colors, wiggle and push off. So we'll just incorporate this down here into this bluey green color that we made. And we can just start maybe adding little bits of sky showing through. Maybe there's a house over here. We'll just add just a simple peak. Simple like that. And we'll pull across. So when we start to create little lines, turn your brush this way to add in some extra little lines. Try to get them right inside. Take a little bit of green with my blue, a little bit of white still on there. And do some little dabs like that. Pull. So just something like that. Now you can add in the indication of a roof line if you want. You can just bring it in now and then cover some of it up with some more leaves and foliage. I'm just taking those same colors, going this way. A little bit darker right in here for shadow. Take some white, tint it with a little bit of that blue. Pull and slide so you get a nice little line of it on the end of your brush. And we'll come in, pull, pull, now you can switch to a smaller brush if you want, but you can also just use the corner. And if you don't like the look of your little old cottage over here, if you're not happy with lines, you can tap like this to create little shingles, old little shingles. Just tap, tap, tap like that. And then if you want to add some more charm to your little house, you can play up on the color, add a bit more blue. We could add a little window in here. Let's go ahead and add a little window. Take a little bit of white and just tap a square, just like that. Maybe take a little bit of turquoise and add some little shutters. Push and then pull out a little bit. Kind of makes it look like they're open. And then maybe the ideas just start coming to me as I start painting. It's just so fun. Even if you have a reference photo, it's fun to just do your own thing with it. And that'll come with time. Many of you guys ask how to let go and have ideas come to you like that. It helps to have a wild imagination, which I always have had. I also like to watch uplifting things and just keep positive, beautiful images in my mind all the time. That way you just have your mind full of nice, uplifting, positive things. So you kind of just train your mind to think of beautiful things all the time. I'm going to take some more. I'm not even going to wash my brush off. Just take some more of that green that we made up earlier with lemon yellow, white, and sap green. And just start pushing, tapping right against the house. Can leave some areas a little darker if you want. And then a little bit blurry as well. We'll use another mop brush. I've got a clean one now just because once you wash one out, the shape of it gets ruined. So I always have, I've probably got about 10 to 12 mop brushes, all different sizes, on hand and ready for me to use. I'm going to take some lemon yellow, white, tap the two together, a little bit of sap green, and I'm just going to start tapping in here. Put some foliage on the top of this roof, set it back in there, and maybe have some foliage here. Okay, and then maybe a little bit up in here. Just kind of dust and scumble with your brush. I've got a lot of different sizes of these ones too. So you can make leaves with these and use them for all sorts of things. Right now I'm going to use a number 4 and make a little bit more detail, little highlights here. I'm going to take some turquoise with a bit of sap green. And I'm just going to pick a few spots. Make them pointy on the end like this. This will add a nice highlight to them and make them pop out and look 3D. A little bit more. Now you could do this with some yellow as well. I'll add a few yellow ones just to show you guys. So the idea is to just enhance these leaves, not completely cover them up with this. And if you add a bit too much, maybe I added a bit too much there, so I'm just going to take some sap green and kind of go over that. Take a bit more. This time I'm going to try taking some cobalt blue and turquoise. It doesn't change the color too much. So we'll just do a few like that. I'm happy with how that looks for now. I can always come back to it if I want to. I might add some phthalo blue in there too. I like to incorporate as many colors as I can into paintings just because I am happy when I use a lot of color. And right now we all need to be as happy as we can be and as positive as we can be with what we're all going through. So color and art is therapy, guys. How about we add a little light inside of here? Let's take a little bit of our lemon yellow and white and just a little bit. I wipe off the excess paint on my towel. I'm just carefully going around. I know this is going to dry a little bit darker. We can scumble some of the paint off and make it look like it's a bit brighter in some areas. Now, you know what would look really pretty is if we took a little bit of our neon pink and made a peachy color like this. Warm, soft glow. Let's just add just a touch of that right there. I think I just want to tidy up right outside this window. Maybe got a little beam or something coming down there. Or maybe it's another window kind of hiding back there. Take a little bit of our yellow and our peach and just add in just a bit. Now I want to add a little bit of green right here. Maybe the light from that window is hitting these little bushes and plants. I also want to have maybe some more, maybe the grape leaves in here. Let's give that a try. Take this color again. This is a nice grape leaf color. Again, it's lemon yellow, sap green, and white. So I'm just gonna kind of wiggle. Make them kind of messy looking. We'll just have them coming right in front of this house. A little bit darker here. A little bit of a shadow inside. So just play with your greens, light and shadow. Think about where the light will fall, highlights. This is where the little bit of light is coming from. And then sometimes you can just use, and then get a little line on the tip. Make it look like they're coming in like this. Everything drawing our eyes in, pulling us into what's going to be going on in here. And I'm going to take my phthalo blue, a little bit of white, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of yellow now, but I just want to make a fresh color. A little bit more phthalo. So now we've got a really cool green, almost a phthalo green, not quite. And we'll come in, just start doing somewhere down in here. It starts to blend in. And then maybe right down here at the bottom, we'll take cobalt blue, phthalo blue, make it darker. So sap green, phthalo, can have it just coming right down here over top of our little courtyard or patio where we're going to have our candlelit dinner. Not thinking about it, just dabbing everywhere. More white, a little bit of yellow. So I could use my mop brush for this to get it done quicker. However, I don't want everything to look the same. I want it to look like in this garden there's a large variety of bushes and trees and plants. Now some phthalo blue. What we want to add now are, could add like a little bit of flowers in there. Let's take maybe some neon pink, lemon yellow, and I'm just going to have the two like that together, and maybe add take a bit more pink. And then maybe we can take some of our neon purple. And you could add any flowers you want to your garden. And there's some over here. And there's some right over here. I don't know what they are yet, but I just want to add some pretty color in there. A little bit of white, neon purple violet. Pull and flick out. And take my very old liner brush. A little bit of white, a little bit of pink. Lines and dabs and little flicks. And then, without washing a brush, just dip into lemon yellow and sap green. Maybe they're just hanging down, cascading. Beautiful little fuchsias or something. I just want to tap in a little bit of green in here. Actually, I'm going to use some turquoise and some sap green. Okay, I'm going to take a Filbert brush, more of that sap green and turquoise. We've got a hedge here. That. Okay, so now we're ready to start our trellis or garden arbor. I'm not really sure. Our pergola, maybe it's called a pergola. So I'm going to take, let's take our burnt umber. some yellow ochre, a little bit of pink, a little bit of yellow. Make a nice warm brown because I can't find my burnt sienna. And this is going to probably scare you guys a little bit, but don't let it, okay? Just trust. We're going to come down on an angle right here, slight angle. Just remember, whatever you don't like, you can cover it up. You can change your mind and paint over it. Especially with a landscape, it's so forgiving. Mix up those colors again. So what we're doing is adding the beams in now. And one's going to come right down like this. We're going to add a highlight to that. Hold your brush over like this so that it looks like wood. You don't want to push too hard. And the same right here. Pull. That way you get that natural light on there. Okay, and let's take a little bit more of our dark brown here. Add a shadow. Same thing, just sort of pull and drag. And now this one, so it's kind of like a Y. So we're going to go up like that, and then back over like that. I'm not going to lie, that was a little bit scary. Come in with our dark brown again. I'm just doing this freehand so it looks a little wobbly and not straight, but we can fix that. I want this one to look really dark, so I'm going to take all my dark colors. That way I don't have to go grab any black. So I just took all the dark colors on my palette, no white. And look at that, see? A nice deep dark color. I'll just have that one kind of just going in there. Attempt to straighten this out by pulling off some of the paint and wiping the excess paint off on my towel. I'm going to take those highlight colors again, a little yellow ochre, and have a highlight on this side. I'm just going to play up the highlight a little bit more in here. So I like to put it on the bottom of my brush, turn my hand over, have a little bit more control. You can even line it up, barely touch. It's like using a palette knife. I just really like using brushes. Okay, so I think I'm going to add some more leaves here and just have that set in there and disappear. Yellow. Let's just take our blues that we have mixed up here, some yellow and sap green, and we can tuck that guy in there. Just by doing simple things like that, you can make it look like it's behind and like it's been there a long time. Take a bit more yellow. This right here. A little bit more blue, sap green. Over here on the side is going to be orange shadow, right? So you want to keep this darker. And then whatever's inside my brush, I'm gently squeezing out, turning and twisting. And I think I'm going to take some cobalt blue, a little bit of white, and add some light right in here. Maybe the sun's starting to go down. Can make it a little bit pinky if we're careful and we don't push too hard with our brush. Or you can just wait and dry it off. Little pockets of sky in here amongst all the leaves and trees. And then we can come in around that with some more of our green. And I'm going to add a little bit more of a shadow right in here. And right on top. So I'm just using my darkest color that I made with all my dark colors on my palette. Couple little lines right in there. Very lightly add a little outline there. And this is just going to start to get lost in all of those leaves, so we can add some more greenery down here. Put a little bit of our lemon yellow. Ooh. Highlight to these ones. Make those stand out a little bit more. I want to add a little bit more green in here. This one is called Pale Green. I just want to break this color up a little bit. I'm just going to scoop off a little bit. It's just a little bit too distracting, so I'm going to hide that away a little bit by incorporating these two greens, sap and pale green. So I'm going to get a little ball on the tip of my brush, and I'm just going to start tapping. There, just a little bit like that. A little bit. Back to Filbert brush. Take some more greens. Let's pick up some of that light green, mix it with our phthalo, sap, and let's just start pulling these leaves in. Pick up a little bit of white and add a very light highlight. Let's add some purple, violet, neon pink, a little bit of orange. Go back to my purple violet, mix it with some phthalo blue. Just want to have an exciting purple kind of popping out under here. A little undertone of that I think will be really nice. And then I'm going to start adding our table. So for that, I'm not even going to wash my brush out. I'm going to take some white, a little bit of the cobalt blue, and we're going to add just a little oval like that. A little bit more cobalt. And just start creating that tablecloth hangover. Take a little bit of pink, white, and blue. And I'm going to pull, lighten this area up right here. That light color again. Let's take a little bit of phthalo this time, and with our cobalt. Phthalo and cobalt mixed. There's a little bit of white still in there. And come around. Do a little ring like that. And we'll just start pulling little areas that are going to be lighter. Looks like they're folded over. And take a little flat brush. This is a number 6. And I'm going to make this pink again. Start working on the glow on our table. So very subtle, soft glow. Got those little candles and glass votives. And we'll take some phthalo, a little bit of white, push it on the tip of my brush, and I'll come around. Grab a little bit more white now to make this a little bit brighter. Pull all this for just the subtle little highlights. here at the bottom. We're going to outline a little bit. Almost like painting waterfalls. Kind of reminds me of water pouring off the edge. A little bit more of this blue right in here. Maybe there's a little line across like that where some shadows casting down. Let's pick up straight cobalt and add shadow. Make it look like folds. Just a little bit more of a highlight because I know that it's going to dry a little bit darker. So I mix up with a little bit more white. Either blue is fine. And I want to go around here again. And just very lightly and carefree. And I'm going to take some of my pinks, yellows, brown, yellow ochre, just twist it and roll it on my brush, and paint the indication of a chair back here. So we'll just kind of go fancy, kind of swirly garden chair. Just something simple like that. And you can highlight a little bit inside. Barely touch the canvas. I just took a little bit of my pink, yellow, lemon yellow, and yellow ochre. Right, so now I'm ready to begin the candles here. So I'm going to start with white, and I'm going to do one here, and we'll put one right here. Take a dry brush, Filbert, just for making it look kind of fuzzy. I'm just going to dab off around the outside. Then I want to take a little bit of yellow and a little bit of pink, a little bit more white. take some of my yellow ochre right on the tip of my brush. I'm going to do a wider line there, and then I'm going to go inside and pull and flick down the line. Pull and flick, but don't go all the way down. And then we're going to go right at the base and add that yellow ochre down there too. I'm going to take some of my white and yellow, tap it lightly, around like that. I just give it a little bit more of a shape and a little bit more of a glow. Do a little ring around it. Now if your paint is pretty dry underneath, it makes it a lot easier to steady your hand if you just set your pinky right there. Mine's kind of tacky still, but I'm being really careful. I'm going to take a little bit more of my pink lemon yellow and just a touch of yellow ochre. Add that little bit there again. And do a skinny line in there, and then a little bit right underneath. And right down here for the stem. Okay, so you can just carefully outline a little bit one side. Get rid of that little bit of extra paint I had there. So something just like that. A little bit more of a highlight. My paint's starting to dry. That's how I know I've been painting for a long time. Because I do paint really fast and I never really have a problem with paint drying. We'll add just a little bit more of a highlight. Just take your white and mix it with a little bit of your yellow ochre, lemon yellow. Add a little bit more of a highlight. Let's paint a little indication that there's some plates here. We'll just do a line that goes up like a half circle, and then we'll come in with dark burnt umber and some cobalt blue. Come around like that. We'll just have some stuff on the table. Just add a few little things. They're too far away to know what exactly they are. Let's add a bit of yellow and pink. A little bit of white. Just re-highlight that again. Down here. A little bit more white right inside here, making it really bright. And then a little bit of yellow. Just straight yellow this time, not the yellow ochre. Well, I'm having so much fun with this painting. I wasn't sure if I was going to go ahead and do it, but like I've said before, you know, when I have ideas, I kind of wait and see, do I really want to paint that? And I've kind of been playing around with this image for a few weeks now, so I'm really glad that I finally got to doing it. Maybe we could do, what else could we do? Maybe some little flowers. We could have a little vase and flowers on the table. Let's just take a little bit of, we could turn this into a little vase right here. A little line on the top. And then we'll have a little shadow down here. And there should have shadows. Okay, and then I'm going to add some stems, yellow, sap green, maybe that bright green. Little highlight, so small, barely touch, and we could make roses, pink and white. Some indication of some pretty roses there. It's all far away. It's just the idea that it's there. We know it's there. My purple, yellow ochre, brown, maybe a little bit of pink. Oh, let's add some yellow too. Just want to bring that one down a little bit more. Okay, we can right like that. Now for the seat. Let's take a different brush. That might be easier. A little bit brighter, and let's add a little highlight a little bit right there, but the rest of the chair is going to be in shadow. So I'm just adding a bit of the brown left in my brush, white, and a bit of yellow. Okay, so in order for, I wonder if we need to make this a little bit lighter back there. Let's take our cobalt blue and a little bit of white. Wipe the excess off on the towel just so that we can sort of scumble around a little bit right in here. Now that might be light enough. I'm not really sure. We'll know as soon as we start adding the chair rails, or these little lines right in here. I kind of just want to move over to here for a second. It's just bugging me, so I'm going to take my cobalt blue, actually it's phthalo blue and sap green, and bring down some more greenery in here. Let's have a little bit spilling over. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my little liner brush. Green, purple violet, phthalo, brown. Make that nice dark rich color that's almost black. And I'm going to come right underneath, go like that. Load my brush up some more. Take that shadow around the outside. We're going to pull in some lines. We're going to do two. We've got this one already here. And we're going to go from here right down to the bottom of the chair. Whoops, take that off right away. And then another one right here. Right past the canvas. And there's some little legs down below. We're not going to worry about that. We can add a little bit of a highlight to this. Very subtle. Or browns. Black line, it's a little bit too thick, so I'm just going to blend it out a little bit. And same with this little leg down here. One more up like that. And I'm going to add a little bit more greenery down here now. Take our greens, a little bit of white. Now we're just going to paint a few little lanterns and then we'll be all done. So I'm going to have dark color, have a little bit of yellow, a little bit of white, a little bit of pink. That. And then we'll have a little square, just some little squares. Brighter inside. We can soften around with our finger. Take a dry filbert. Create like a little haze around them. Take a bit more white, go right inside. Maybe we'll have a few. Maybe there's some up in here too. Maybe we'll have one hanging right from here. And it's giving a little glow to these flowers, making them look softer. So you just soften, and then you add a little bit of white inside. My liner brush, we're just about done. I'm gonna just make a really light, brassy kind of a color. Maybe it's sort of a chandelier. Maybe it's a chandelier hanging there. That's kind of cool. Highlight this. A few little circles here. I think we'll add a couple more. Isn't that fun? Just to create a little chandelier out in your garden. How inviting is that? I tell you, I better be done soon because my phone, I use my phone for making videos and it's just about dead. I just want to add a little bit of a base. To these little lights. Okay, I'm going to call this one done. I really like how this turned out, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll see you guys next time really soon in another video. Bye for now.